Hello, curious minds, and welcome back to What Is, where we peel back the layers of the universe one fascinating topic at a time. Today, we're diving into the molten heart of humanity's obsession, a shimmering constant that has driven empires, launched expeditions, and adorned the mightiest and the wealthiest for millennia. We are talking, of course, about gold. Just what is this lustrous element? And why, in a world full of dazzling minerals and useful metals, has gold held such an unparalleled, almost mythological grip on our collective consciousness for thousands of years? Grab your pickaxe, or perhaps just a comfy chair, because we're about to strike it rich with knowledge. Let's start with the basics. What exactly are we dealing with here? Gold, or Au on the periodic table, derived from the Latin word aurum, meaning shining dawn, is a chemical element with the atomic number 79. It's a dense, soft, malleable, and ductile metal. Now those might sound like textbook buzzwords, but let's break down what they mean for gold's enduring appeal. First, its color, that unmistakable warm metallic yellow. Almost every other pure metal is silvery white or grey. Gold stands out in a crowd, demanding attention. It's literally the golden child of the metallic family, and it shines. It reflects light beautifully, which is why it grabs the eye even in its raw, unrefined state, glimmering enticingly from riverbeds or rock veins. It's not just that it's pretty. Gold is incredibly malleable, meaning it can be hammered into incredibly thin sheets without cracking. We're talking about gold leaf so thin that a single gram can be flattened into a sheet of almost a square meter in size, transparent enough to let green light through. Imagine that. You could essentially wrap a small car in gold foil using just a fraction of an ounce. Similarly, it's ductile, meaning it can be drawn into incredibly fine wires. A single ounce of gold can be stretched into a wire 5 miles long. That's like making a necklace that could span a small town. Try doing that with, say, a brick. Good luck. Or even with an iron bar. It would snap before you even got close. Perhaps its most crucial property, though, is its inertness. In less scientific terms, gold is lazy. Extremely lazy. It doesn't want to react to much of anything. It won't tarnish, it won't rust, it won't corrode. You can bury it for 2,000 years, dig it up, dust it off, and it looks just as brilliant as the day it was hammered into a royal diadem. This resistance to decay is why ancient artifacts unearthed today often look like they were just made yesterday. While iron tools have long since dissolved into rust and silver has turned dark with tarnish. It's the ultimate time capsule material, preserving its beauty and form across millennia. It's like the immortal superhero of metals, utterly unfazed by the ravages of time and the elements, just waiting patiently to be discovered and admired. It's those combined qualities, its beauty, its workability, and its indestructible nature, that set the stage for its incredible journey through human history. Our journey with gold begins not in a modern bank vault, but in the sun-drenched sands of ancient Egypt around 3000 BCE. The Egyptians were utterly captivated by gold, believing it to be the flesh of the gods, particularly the sun god Ra. This wasn't just a pretty accessory, it was imbued with a spiritual significance, a connection to the divine, a promise of immortality. Pharaohs were literally buried in it, not just with it. Think of Tutankhamun's death mask, a solid gold portrait of a boy king, weighing over 22 pounds. That's like wearing 22 bags of sugar on your face for eternity. Talk about a statement piece. And it still gleams today, centuries after its creation, a testament to the gold's timeless nature. And on a personal note, I have seen the mask twice, once as a child when it was touring the UK, and again in my 30s while I was living in Cairo, and it is beautiful and still gleams. From Egypt, gold's allure spread like wildfire. The Sumerians in Mesopotamia crafted exquisite gold jewelry and ritual objects. The Indus Valley civilization around the same time were also using gold extensively, fashioning intricate beads and ornaments. It wasn't about currency yet, it was about status, power, and divinity. If you had gold, you were either a god, a king, a priest, or someone very important to a god or king. It marked you as exceptional, set you apart from the earthly masses. Fast forward to the Roman Empire, and gold's role began to expand. While still a symbol of imperial power and wealth, gracing the emperor's robe and triumphal arches, it also became intensely practical. The Romans minted gold coins like the aureus, which helped fuel their vast economy and military machine. Imagine being a Roman soldier and getting paid in actual gold. That's a serious bonus, and an easy way to store your earnings. But even then, its scarcity meant it was primarily used for large transactions and the very wealthy. The average citizen probably saw more copper and silver in their daily lives. But the story of gold isn't just about the old world. Across the oceans in the Americas, civilizations like the Aztecs and the Incas also revered gold. They called it the sweat of the sun and the tears of the moon, incorporating it into elaborate religious ceremonies, stunning jewelry, and incredible art. They saw its spiritual value, its connection with the cosmos. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, led by figures like Cortés and Pizarro, they weren't interested in the spiritual significance. They saw only its monetary value, its potential to enrich their coffers and fund European wars. The sheer scale of gold plundered fundamentally altered the global economy and tragically decimated indigenous cultures. It was a stark, brutal reminder of gold's seductive and often destructive power, proving that what one culture held sacred, another could see merely as commodity. Then came the great gold rushes of the 19th century. California, Australia, the Klondike. These weren't quiet affairs. These were seismic shifts in human migration, driven by the frantic and often desperate hope of striking it rich. Thousands and then hundreds of thousands of people dropping everything, their farms, their families, their sensible careers, to endure unimaginable hardships in pursuit of a glittering nugget. Imagine queuing for weeks in frozen temperatures, then digging through frozen earth with rudimentary tools, all for the chance of finding a tiny piece of metal. It's absurd, it's inspiring, and it's a testament to gold's hold over the human psyche. The gold rushes reshaped continents, built cities overnight, filled frontier towns with a chaotic mix of dreamers and scoundrels, and ultimately paved way for gold's most significant historical role, the foundation of our global financial system. So how did this beautiful shiny metal transform from divine artifact to the bedrock of international finance? The answer lies in its unique combination of properties: scarcity, durability, divisibility, uniformity, and high value to weight ratio. These aren't just technical terms, they're the very principles that make something good money. For millennia, people used various commodities as money: seashells, salt, cattle, even large stone wheels in some Pacific islands. The problem? Most of these were perishable, hard to transport, inconsistent in value, or difficult to divide. Try carrying a cow to pray for your groceries, or hoping that your salt doesn't dissolve in the rain, or figuring out how to give change for a giant stone wheel. Not exactly convenient, scalable, or reliable. Gold, however, solved these problems with elegant simplicity. It's rare enough to be valuable, but not so rare to be unusable. It doesn't corrode, so it can last forever, maintaining its intrinsic value. It can be melted down and recast into uniform coins or bars, ensuring consistency and making counterfeiting difficult. It's easily divisible into smaller units without losing value. You can cut a gold bar in half, and you have two halves worth half the original, not a pile of worthless dust. And critically, a small amount of gold holds a lot of value, making it highly portable. You can carry significant amounts of wealth in a small pouch versus, say, a whole cart of silver. It was, in essence, the perfect physical money. This led to the widespread adoption of gold coinage. Governments guaranteed the weight and purity of their gold coins, building trust in their currency. But the real game changer was the gold standard. Imagine a world where every dollar, every pound, every franc was directly backed by a specific amount of gold held in a central bank's vault. That's what the gold standard was, primarily from the late 19th century until the early 20th century. National currencies were convertible into gold at fixed prices. You could literally walk into a bank and exchange your paper money for physical gold. This system offered stability. It prevented governments from printing endless amounts of money because they were limited by their gold reserves. This meant inflation was kept in check. It fostered international trade, as exchange rates were fixed. You knew exactly how much gold your dollar would buy, and how much gold that French franc was worth. It was like a global financial GPS system, powered by a gleaming yellow metal, providing a universal measure of value. However, the gold standard wasn't without its flaws. It restricted economic growth during periods of gold scarcity. If you couldn't find more gold, you couldn't expand your money supply, even if the economy really needed it. It also severely constrained a government's ability to respond to an economic crisis, like the Great Depression, which we already have a video on if you want to know more about this period, linked above. If you couldn't print more money or devalue your currency, how could you stimulate the economy or protect your industries? It was like trying to run a marathon with your shoelaces tied together by a gold chain. Stable, yes, but inflexible. Post-World War II, the Bretton Woods system attempted a modified gold standard, where only the US dollar was directly convertible to gold, and other currencies were pegged to the dollar. For a while, this offered a degree of stability, and helped rebuild a war-torn world. But even that eventually collapsed in 1971, when President Nixon closed the gold window, ending the dollar's convertibility to gold. This marked the official end of gold as a direct basis for most modern currencies. Today, currencies are fiat money. Their value is derived from a government decree and public trust, not a tangible commodity. Yet gold remains a critical asset. Central banks worldwide still hold vast reserves of gold, not to back their currencies directly, but as a store of value, a hedge against inflation, and a safe haven asset during times of economic or political uncertainty. It's the ultimate financial emergency kit. Always there, always valuable, just in case everything else goes sideways. Governments might not print money based on gold anymore, but they still respect its power. They know, just like the ancient Egyptians, that some things are simply timeless. Beyond its role in finance, gold's status as a precious metal is perhaps its most visible and universally understood identity. When you think of a precious metal, gold is almost certainly the first thing that springs to mind, and for good reason. Its intrinsic beauty, its rarity, its resistance to corrosion make it the ultimate material for adornment and artistry, a luxury truly worth its price tag. Jewelry, of course, is the most obvious application. From delicate earrings to statement necklaces, from engagement rings that symbolize eternal love to royal crowns that signify absolute power, gold has been the metal of choice for personal adornment for thousands of years. Its warm luster complements every skin tone, and its malleability allows for artisans to craft incredibly intricate designs, from filigree to detailed engravings. The purity of gold in jewelry is measured in carats, 24 carat being pure gold, 18 carat meaning 18 parts gold, 6 parts another metal for strength, and so on. It's a system that has served jewelers and customers for centuries, ensuring you know exactly what you're getting, or perhaps more importantly, what you're giving. Imagine proposing with a ring made of copper. that would turn green on your loved one's finger after a few weeks. Not quite the eternal symbol, is it? Gold, on the other hand, promises beauty that lasts a lifetime and beyond. But gold's artistic uses extend far beyond personal adornment. Think of the legendary golden statues of antiquity, often lost to time, but their legends endure. Think of the dazzling mosaics in the Byzantine churches, where tiny pieces of gold leaf, embedded in glass, catch and reflect the light, creating an otherworldly glow that seems to emanate from within. Or the intricate gilding found in palaces and cathedrals across Europe and Asia, where a whisper-thin layer of gold transforms mundane wood or plaster into something heavenly, giving the illusion of solid gold without the prohibitive weight or cost. It elevates the ordinary, turning craftsmanship into high art, a Midas touch. And then there's its symbolic power. A gold medal in the Olympics signifies the pinnacle of athletic achievement, the best of the best. A solid gold Oscar statue embodies cinematic excellence, the ultimate recognition in film. Giving someone a gold watch for retirement isn't just telling time, it's about acknowledging a lifetime of dedication and celebrating success. Gold is universally understood as a symbol of status, luxury, and accomplishment. It speaks a language that transcends cultures and centuries, conveying prestige and success without uttering a single word. It says, you made it, you're special, you're worth your weight in, well, gold. It's not just about showing off either. Gold often represents enduring value and heritage. Heirlooms passed down through generations, a grandmother's locket, a family signet ring, are frequently made of gold precisely because it lasts. It doesn't tarnish, it doesn't degrade, it retains its beauty and value, weathering the storms of time to become a tangible link to the past, a physical connection to those who came before. It's a metal that understands the concept of legacy, acting as a silent storyteller across the ages. Now, if you thought gold was just for kings, rappers, and investment portfolios, prepare to have your mind blown. While its aesthetic and monetary value are undeniable, a silent revolution has been taking place, leveraging gold's unique properties in the most unexpected places, the cutting-edge worlds of technology and science. Gold isn't just pretty, it's incredibly useful, often in ways you'd never imagine, driving innovation from the micro to the macro level. Let's start with electronics. Your smartphone, your laptop, your GPS device, even the satellites orbiting Earth, they all contain tiny amounts of gold. Why? Because gold is an exceptional conductor of electricity, and crucially, it doesn't corrode. Imagine the hundreds of tiny electrical contacts inside your phone. If they were made of copper, they'd eventually tarnish and fail, turning your expensive device into a very shiny paperweight. But gold ensures reliable, corrosion-free connections, even in humid environments or over decades of use. It allows for smaller, faster, and more efficient components to be built. So the next time your phone seamlessly connects to a network or processes information at lightning speed, remember that's a microscopic amount of gold doing the heavy lifting, working tirelessly behind the scenes, utterly unappreciated. It's like the unsung hero of the digital age, quietly making everything work while taking no credit. In the medical field, gold's inertness and biocompatibility, meaning it typically doesn't react negatively with living tissue, makes it invaluable. Historically, gold was used in dentistry for fillings and crowns, thanks to its durability, non-toxicity, and aesthetic appeal. While composite materials are more common today, gold still has its place, especially for long-lasting, high-quality restorations. More excitingly, researchers are exploring the use of gold nanoparticles. Gold particles so tiny they're measured in billionths of a meter, for groundbreaking medical applications. These nanoparticles can act as tiny, targeted delivery systems for drugs, precisely bringing medication to cancerous cells while minimizing harm to healthy tissue. They are also being developed for advanced diagnostic tools, helping to detect diseases earlier, and even as agents in photothermal therapy, where they can absorb light and generate heat to destroy tumors. Imagine gold not just as a symbol of health and vitality, but actively creating it within the human body. And then there's aerospace. You've seen those shimmering gold visors on astronaut helmets. That's not a fashion statement. It's an ultra-thin layer of gold that reflects harmful infrared radiation and ultraviolet light, protecting the astronaut's eyes and face from the harsh glare of unfiltered sunlight in space. Gold is also used as a coating on critical spacecraft components and satellites to regulate temperature and maintain the integrity of sensitive instruments, preventing them from overheating or freezing in the extreme thermal fluctuations of space. Its reflective properties are crucial for shielding against both the sun's intense heat and the frigid cold of deep space. Without gold, our space exploration efforts would be significantly more challenging and potentially much more dangerous. It's literally helping us reach for the stars, keep our explorers safe, and our instruments functioning. Even in the realm of high precision scientific instruments, gold plays a vital role. In electron microscopy, for example, samples are often coated with a minuscule layer of gold to enhance conductivity and improve image quality, allowing scientists to see the world at an atomic level. In quantum computing, researchers are exploring gold's properties at an atomic scale to create the next generation of super powerful computers, harnessing its unique quantum behaviors. From the very small to the very vast, from the inner workings of your phone to the outer reaches of the cosmos, gold demonstrates a versatility that beggars belief. It's a workhorse dressed in a tuxedo, capable of everything from powering your phone to fighting cancer. Who knew this ancient metal had such a modern secret life? So we've journeyed through the millennia of gold's history, from divine artifact to financial bedrock, from cherished adornment to indispensable technological component. But what about the future? Does gold retain its luster in an increasingly digital and potentially post-physical world? The answer, unequivocally, is yes. Economically, gold's role as a safe haven and store of value is unlikely to diminish. In an era of volatile markets, geopolitical instability, and inflation concerns, gold's fundamental properties, its scarcity, its inherent value, and its resistance to inflationary pressures make it an attractive asset. While cryptocurrencies offer a new digital alternative, gold's thousands of years of proven stability and tangibility give it a psychological edge that digital assets have yet to fully earn. It's the old guard, reliably standing tall amidst the new volatile challenges. People still trust gold when they trust little else. It's the financial comfort blanket of the global economy, providing a grounding force in uncertain times. Technologically, the demand for gold is only set to increase. As our devices become smaller, faster, more interconnected, the need for reliable, corrosion-resistant, and highly conductive materials like gold will continue to grow. We're not just talking about smartphones. Think about the Internet of Things, advanced robotics, artificial intelligence infrastructure, and the ever-expanding universe of medical devices. Each iteration, each innovation, quietly demands more of this precious yellow metal. The gold in your next smart device might be so minuscule you can't even see it, but its presence will absolutely be vital for its performance and longevity. And speaking of the future, what about expanding our horizons beyond Earth? The concept of asteroid mining, once the stuff of science fiction, is becoming a serious area of research. Some asteroids are believed to contain staggering amounts of precious metals, including gold. potentially enough to flood Earth's markets for centuries. While the engineering and economic challenges are immense, the political implications are complex. A future where gold is mined from the asteroid belt is not entirely out of the question. Imagine a future where fortunes aren't made in dusty riverbeds, but in the sterile vacuum of space. That's a serious upgrade to the gold rush narrative, a cosmic twist to humanity's oldest treasure hunt. Could we ever synthesize gold? Theoretically, yes. You could, in principle, transmute other elements into gold using nuclear reactions, perhaps in a particle accelerator. However, the energy required and the costs involved are so astronomically high that it would be vastly more expensive than just digging it out of the ground. So for the foreseeable future, gold will remain a naturally occurring finite resource, ensuring its scarcity and thus its enduring value. No one is going to accidentally stumble upon a gold making machine in their garage anytime soon, much to the chagrin of aspiring alchemists everywhere. From the dawn of civilization to the far reaches of space, from the humblest piece of jewelry to the most advanced medical technology, gold has constantly proven its worth. It adapts, it endures, it continues to captivate. Its journey is a testament to its unique physical properties and the human capacity for wonder, acquisition, and innovation. It truly is the metal that time forgot to forget. So there you have it, the glittering, complex, and utterly captivating story of gold. From being the flesh of the gods in ancient Egypt to the silent guardian of your smartphone circuits, gold has truly earned its place as one of the most remarkable elements on our planet, and perhaps beyond. We hope you enjoyed unearthing these golden nuggets of information with us today. If you learned something new, or just appreciate the timeless sparkle of gold, please hit that like button, subscribe to What Is for more deep dives, and let us know in the comments what's the most surprising thing you learned about gold today. Or perhaps, what other elements or mysteries should we explore next? Your insights are as precious as, well, you know. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, and see you next time.